The stars shone quietly in the vast darkness of space. Many alien ships flew between the glowing planets and distant suns. These ships belonged to strong empires, creatures from many worlds who believed they ruled the galaxy. But none of them had ever seen what was about to come. Far away, hidden behind a thick nebula, Earth's secret battleship prepared to jump into the war zone. This was not just any ship. It was called the Invincible, a massive vessel built by humans in secret. It was strong, fast, and armed with the deadliest weapons anyone had ever imagined. For years, the galaxy had laughed at Earth. They called humans weak and simple. They thought Earth was just a small, old planet with nothing special. But humans were different. They had worked hard and smart. Their battleship was the proof of that. Captain Armand stood on the bridge of the Invincible. His eyes scanned the endless stars ahead. He was calm but ready. Around him, the crew moved quickly and silently. Every person on the ship knew their duty. They knew this moment could change the future of the galaxy. Suddenly, the ship's engines glowed bright blue. The moment had come. Invincible jumped from the hidden star system into the middle of a huge space battle. Alien fleets from different empires were fighting fiercely. Their weapons lit up the dark space with deadly energy. The aliens stopped, fighting when they saw the new ship. Their leaders tried to understand what it was. What is that giant ship? Why is it here? They asked each other in fear. The Invincible did not wait. It moved forward slowly, but with power. Its big guns charged and fired in bursts of bright light. Ships of the alien empires exploded one after another. Many tried to run, but the Invincible was too fast and too strong. The sound of explosions and alarms filled the space. But the Invincible's crew stayed calm. They had trained for this day for a long time. They were ready to fight for Earth and for all those who believed in peace. Captain Armand gave orders. Target their command ship. Destroy it quickly. The crew worked together perfectly. Powerful weapons fired again. This time a huge enemy ship burned and broke apart. The other aliens were shocked. They had never seen such a powerful ship. News of the Invincible spread fast through the galaxy. Alien leaders sent messages to their fleets. The humans have arrived. They are stronger than we thought. Be careful. In the following hours, the Invincible moved through the battlefield. It saved smaller ships and helped weak allies. It showed no fear, only strength and courage. Many aliens started to respect humans for the first time. On Earth, people watched the battle on their screens. They cheered. They had waited so long for this moment. The moment when Earth would finally show the galaxy its true power. But Captain Armand knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was big, and many dangers waited ahead. The Invincible would have to fight many battles to protect Earth and its people. Still, humans on that battleship were ready. Their hearts were strong. Their will was unbreakable. When Earth's battleship arrived, the galaxy screamed in terror, but also in respect. The story of the Invincible had just begun. The stars were calm, quiet, and cold. But behind that silence, the galaxy was at war. For years, powerful alien empires had been fighting for control of planets, resources, and pride. Battles filled the skies with fire.
How millions of lives had been lost.
Among all the noise and destruction, one small blue planet was always ignored. Earth. The other species believed. Earth was weak, primitive, not worth noticing. They had no idea what was coming. Hidden deep inside Earth's solar system, the shadow of Jupiter's largest moon, something huge was being prepared. A ship, a monster of metal and fire. A secret project led by humanity's best engineers, scientists, and warriors. They called it the Invincible. No one had ever built anything like it. It was 5 times larger than any known alien ship, covered in thick dark armor that could take the hit of a star bomb without cracking. Its weapons were not only powerful, they were experimental. Plasma beams, quantum torpedoes, artificial black hole mines. Systems so advanced that not even Earth's allies fully understood them. Its mission was simple: end the war. Show Earth's power and never let humanity be ignored again. Captain Armand stood on the bridge of the Invincible. He was calm, sharp-eyed, and ready. Around him, the crew sat at their stations, pilots, engineers, weapons officers, all trained to perfection. No one spoke. They all knew what this day meant. Final systems check. Ship hummed. Then it vanished. A blink later, it dropped out of hyperspace in the middle of a galactic battlefield. Alien fleets were everywhere, massive warships from the Drell Confederacy, the twin-headed cruisers of the Syrinx Dominion, and hundreds more. They were too busy fighting each other to notice the sudden arrival, but they noticed when their ships began to explode. The Invincible didn't fire a warning shot. It didn't need to. Its first attack cut through 5 enemy cruisers like paper. Then it spun, launched torpedoes, and crushed an entire battle formation in seconds. Alien commanders shouted across their comms, "What ship is that?" It come from. Some tried to scan it. Others tried to hail it. But the Invincible didn't answer. Captain Armand spoke only once. "We are from Earth. This war ends now." Panic spread. The aliens had never seen a ship so strong. Some tried to flee. Others made the mistake of attacking. They were destroyed in moments. The Drell Confederacy's dreadnought fired its heaviest cannon. The blast hit the Invincible square in the front. For a second, the stars went white. But when the light cleared, the Invincible was still there. Untouched, the galaxy had never feared humans before. But now, fear spread fast. Back on Earth, people watched the live feed. Across every continent, humans held their breath. Then they cheered. Their planet, once mocked and ignored, had just shown its true strength. In the galaxy's darkest hour, Earth had sent its answer. A single ship, a message in metal, and the galaxy screamed. But for Captain Armand and his crew, this was only the beginning, because they knew power creates enemies. An Earth's message had been heard by every empire across the stars. Now, everyone knew who the humans were, and no one would ever forget. The Invincible floated silently above the shattered remains of the battlefield. Broken alien ships drifted around it like dust. Fire still burned in space, and emergency signals blinked in every direction. The galaxy had never seen such destruction caused by a single ship. Inside the command center, Captain Armand watched the screens carefully. The battle was over, but he knew the war had just begun. "Status?" he asked calmly. "Shields at 90%. Weapons fully charged. No major damage," said the ship's engineer. "Any enemy ships still moving?" "Escape pods. Everyone else is either destroyed or running." Captain Armand nodded. "Good. Send a message." The communication officer opened the channel. Armand spoke in a voice clear and steady. "To all remaining alien fleets, Earth does not seek war, but we will defend ourselves. Let this be your only warning." The message echoed across the galaxy. Every major empire, every spy network, every trader in space heard it. And they all realized one thing: Earth was no longer a small, weak planet. It was now a power that could not be ignored far across the galaxy. On the metallic world of Krontor, the High Council of the Syrinx Dominion held an emergency meeting. The Syrinx were tall, thin creatures with silver skin and 6 glowing eyes. They were known for their logic and cold decisions. "This human ship," said one elder, "is dangerous. If it can defeat 3 fleets in one battle, what else can it do?" Another elder slammed the table with his sharp hand. "We must strike Earth now, before they grow stronger." But the leader of the council raised her hand. "No. If we attack Earth directly, the Invincible will come again. We must think smarter." There was silence. Then one of the younger members spoke. "What if we use a spy, hidden agent, to learn more about this ship, its weaknesses?" The council agreed. A plan was born. Meanwhile, on the Invincible, a strange signal appeared on the ship's radar. It came from a nearby moon called Zoran 5. The signal was old, but human in origin. A human distress call. The crew asked in surprise. Captain Armand frowned. "That's impossible. No humans were ever sent this far." But the signal was clear. A voice repeated every 30 seconds. "This is Lieutenant Maya, Earth Colony 7. We need help. Anyone, please respond. Armand gave the order. Change course. To path for Zoran 5. Within hours, the Invincible landed near the dark surface of the moon. The landscape was dead and dry, filled with black rocks and old metal ruins. A team of soldiers and scientists moved out in armored suits. Their mission: find the source of the signal. They walked through broken buildings and rusted machines. Everything looked abandoned, but the signal kept calling. Finally, deep underground, they found a hidden chamber. Inside was an old cryopod, and inside it was a human, a young woman, asleep in frozen stasis. Her name tag read LT Maya, Earth Colony 7. The crew carefully brought her back to the ship. She's alive, the medical officer said, in perfect condition. But how did she get here? No one had an answer. And more questions followed. What happened to Earth Colony 7? Why had no one heard of it? Was this really an accident, or part of something bigger? Captain Armand stood near the window, looking out at the stars. The battle had shown the galaxy Earth's power. But now, a deeper mystery was rising. And behind that mystery, danger was waiting. The cryopod slowly opened on the medical deck of the Invincible. Cold mist rose around the edges as Lieutenant Maya's eyes fluttered open. She gasped, breathing in the fresh air after what felt like a long, endless dream. "You're safe," said the doctor gently. "You're aboard the Earth battleship Invincible? Can you hear me?" Maya blinked. Her voice was soft but clear. "Earth, it's still alive?" Captain Armand entered the room. He looked at the woman who had survived in deep space alone for who knew how long. "I'm Captain Armand," he said. "We received your signal from the moon, Zoran 5. You've been in cryosleep for over 80 years. Ah sat up slowly, trying to understand 80 years? That means they never came for us." "What happened?" Armand asked. Maya took a deep breath. Earth Colony 7 was a secret mission. We were sent to build a human base far outside known space, but we were attacked, not by pirates or animals, by aliens. The crew around her leaned in closer. They didn't want our planet. They wanted to study us, she continued. They captured everyone, used strange machines to read minds. I escaped only because I hid in the cryopod. Captain Armand's face darkened. Which aliens? Maya looked up slowly. Cyrix Dominion. Silence fell in the room. That name was already fresh in their minds. That explains everything, Armand said. They didn't just want to stop Earth. They were experimenting on our people long before we even joined the galactic map. One of the officers stepped forward. Captain, if what she says is true, we may have more missing humans across Cyrix space. Maya nodded, and they were building something. A machine. It looked like a ship, but alive. Like it could think for itself. That made the room go cold. A living warship. If the Cyrix had developed such a thing, the balance of power could shift again, this time against Earth. Captain Armand gave the order. Prepare for deep recon. We're going to Cyrix space. We find out what they're building, and we end it. Far away, inside the great towers of Cyrix Prime, the Council watched the footage secretly stolen from the Invincible. Their hidden agent, disguised as a traitor, had already sent a full report. So, the cryo-woman survived, the leader said. Our old experiment still breathes. Another elder smiled coldly. It doesn't matter. They're heading straight into our trap. A massive chamber deep beneath the Cyrix capital lit up. A huge living machine sat in the dark, breathing slowly, like a sleeping beast. Its body was part metal, part alien flesh. Wires connected directly to the brains of Cyrix scientists floating in fluid tanks. It was not just a ship. It was something else entirely. We call it the Mind-Ditter, the Cyrix leader said. It learns, it adapts. And when it wakes, it will tear the Invincible apart from the inside. Back on the Invincible, Maya stood on the observation deck staring out at the stars. She had returned to a galaxy that had forgotten her. But Earth hadn't fallen, it had risen. Captain Armand joined her. You're one of us now. We fight together. Maya smiled faintly. Then we fight smart. Because if they're building what I think they are, they're not just preparing for war. They're preparing for extinction. The engines of the Invincible roared to life. Lights flickered as the ship turned toward Zurich's space. The humans were not running. They were coming. And this time, the galaxy would hear their footsteps loud and clear. The Invincible moved through deep space like a silent shadow. Stars blurred past as the crew headed straight into Zurich's territory. Every person on board was alert. They all knew this was not just a mission, it was a warning to the galaxy. Earth would not back down. Captain Armand stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic map. Ahead was a system called Drexenfor, a known Zurich's research zone. Fidi. Mind Eater was being built anywhere. It would be there. Entering enemy space in 30 seconds, said the pilot. Shields up. No communication. Silent approach, Armin ordered. In the medical bay, Lieutenant Maya was suiting up. She wasn't just a survivor anymore. She was part of the mission. Knew Zurich's technology better than anyone. She had seen their cruelty. And now, she would help stop it. A small team was selected for a stealth mission to land on Drexenfor's hidden moon base. Maya, 2 engineers, a soldier, and a drone operator boarded a fast drop shuttle. It was small, black, and invisible too. Most scanners, once we land, Maya said, we find the core lab. That's where the Mind Eater's brain will be. The shuttle detached and silently flew toward the moon. The Invincible stayed in orbit, its cannons ready. Watching from above like a giant hawk, the moon was covered in thick fog and sharp ice. Strange towers rose from the surface, glowing faint green. As the team landed, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Inside the base, they moved carefully. The walls were made of smooth black metal, pulsing like it was alive. Red lights blinked slowly, and strange sounds echoed in the halls. This place gives me chills. The soldier whispered. Then they found it. A large chamber filled with tanks each, one holding a human. Floating and asleep, men, women, even children. Earth's missing colonists still alive? Oh my God, Maya gasped. It kept them. For testing, an engineer tapped the console. Well, these people are connected to something big underground. Suddenly alarms blared. They know we're here. The drone operator shouted. Back in orbit, the Invincible sensors lit up. Captain, incoming Zurich's Fleet 12 warships. Red alert. Prepare for battle. On the moon, Zurich's guards rushed toward the human team. Blasters fired. Maya and her team ran through the halls, dodging bullets, returning fire. The engineer uploaded as much data as possible from the lab computers. Got the files? We have everything on the Mind Eater's design. They barely made it back to the shuttle. Just as they took off, a massive Zurich's destroyer fired at them. A glowing plasma beam from the Invincible tore it apart in the sky. Shuttle recovered. Came the call. Armand gave the order. All weapons, fire at will. The space above Drexenfor turned into chaos. But this time, the Invincible didn't just defend, it hunted. Its cannons burned through enemy ships like paper. Missiles flew. The sky was filled with explosions. From the bridge, Armin watched. No one plays with human lives. Not anymore. One by one, the Zurich ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The Invincible had won again, but the true battle was still ahead. In the deep core of the moon base, one final tank remained. Inside it, the brain of the Mind Eater glowed softly. Wires and flesh twisted around it, though the lab was destroyed. The creature's heart still pulsed, somewhere far away. In a hidden Zurich's command center, a voice whispered, "Activate it." The brain opened its eyes, and the real war had just begun. The Mind Eater had awakened, deep in the ruined base beneath the Zurich's moon. Its strange glowing brain pulsed faster and faster. Machines came alive around it. Long metallic arms unfolded. Red lights blinked like angry eyes. The walls shook. The creature machine had no face, no voice, but it was alive. It had only one goal: destroy Earth, back aboard the Invincible. The crew studied the stolen data from the enemy lab. Maya stood beside Captain Armand, her eyes locked on the screen. This thing, she said, is not just a weapon, it learns. It grows stronger each time it sees our technology. The ship's science officer added, according to this file, it already has partial access to our weapon systems. If it connects fully, it could copy and counter everything we have. Armand frowned. Then we destroy it now, before it escapes. Suddenly, alarm screamed through the Invincible. Captain, something's coming out of the moon. On the screen, the surface of the moon cracked open like a giant egg, all rising. From the dust and fire was a monstrous ship, half machine, half living creature. It was massive, with long, sharp limbs, and a body covered in armor that moved like skin. From its center, a glowing red eye stared directly at the Invincible. The Mind Eater. Maya whispered. It launched upward into space, faster than anything the crew had seen before. Within seconds, it fired its first attack, a dark energy wave that smashed into the Invincible, shaking the whole ship. Shields down to 60%. Shouted the weapons officer. We've never seen energy like this. Armand stood tall. Target its eye. Hit it with everything. The battle had begun. Lasers and plasma beams lit up the sky. Missiles flew. Invincible dodged, rolled, and struck hard. The Mind Eater responded just as fast. It predicted the attacks and blocked many of them. It was like fighting a shadow that could read your mind. The crew of the Invincible fought with courage, but the Mind Eater adapted too quickly. Sir, shouted Maya, we need a new plan. We can't beat it using normal weapons. Armand looked around. Options? The engineer spoke up. There's one thing. We have a prototype warhead codenamed Starburn. It hasn't been tested, but it creates a mini-star explosion. It could destroy anything, even that thing. What's the catch? Armand asked. We have to get close. Very close. The bridge went silent. Armand didn't hesitate. Prepare the warhead. Maya, you're with me. They transferred the weapon into a stealth shuttle. Armand and Maya would fly it directly into the Mind Eater's core, while the Invincible distracted it as the shuttle launched. The Invincible began a fierce attack to draw the creature's attention. Blasts struck the monster from all directions. Inside the small shuttle, Armand flew fast, dodging debris and energy bolts. Maya held the weapon steady, watching the readings. The closer they got, the hotter and darker it became. Then they reached the core. The creature's red eye turned toward them. It sees us, Maya yelled. Too late, Armand said. With steady hands, he locked the warhead into place and hit the eject switch, detaching now. The shuttle pulled away just in time. From the command deck of the Invincible, the crew saw it. A flash of light, brighter than the sun, swallowed the Mind Eater. Silence. Then nothing. The monster was gone. Only space dust remained. Cheers erupted across the ship. The galaxy's most dangerous threat had been destroyed. Earth had once again proven that courage and unity could beat even the darkest enemy. Maya looked out of the window, breathing deeply. It's over. Armand shook his head. No, it's just beginning. They'll come again. Stronger. But now, he added, they'll know Earth isn't afraid. The galaxy was quiet. After the Mind Eater's destruction, space itself seemed to pause. News of the battle spread like wildfire across every planet, every station, every empire. Even species that had never spoken to humans were now whispering the same words. Earth defeated the Syrinx superweapon. For the first time in centuries, the mighty Syrinx dominion stayed silent. Their warships pulled back. Their spies disappeared. Their leaders locked themselves in deep bunkers, unsure of what to do next. Fear had taken root. The Invincible returned to Earth's orbit, its hull scarred from battle, but its spirit unbroken. As the ship descended, millions gathered around the world to watch. Cities stopped working for 1 hour. Schools paused their classes. The whole planet stood still as their heroes came home. On the bridge, Captain Armand looked out at the blue planet. We showed them who we are, he said softly. Lieutenant Maya stood beside him, her eyes filled with emotion. We didn't just fight for Earth, we fought for every forgotten colony, every human who was left behind. He nodded. And now, no one will ever forget us again. A week later, in a secret meeting hall beneath Earth's defense headquarters, the leaders of humanity gathered. Military generals, scientists, and diplomats from every nation sat around a large round table. Captain Armand stood at the center. "We won the battle," he said, "but the war isn't over." A general spoke. "The Syrics may attack again. Other empires may fear us. They might unite against us." Another added, "Or they may try to copy us, build something worse than the Mind Eater." There was silence. Then Maya stood up. "We don't need to rule the galaxy. But we do need to protect our people, every human, on every planet. And not just with weapons. With unity." Armand turned to the group. "The galaxy heard our ship. Now they need to hear our voice." And so, a new project was born. The Earth. Alliance, a united command of humans across colonies, moons, and space stations. Scientists would share knowledge. Soldiers would train together. Leaders would speak as one. The goal was simple: peace, strength, and protection. But peace doesn't come easily in a galaxy filled with fear. Months passed. Invincible was upgraded with new defenses and new crew members. More ships were being built, inspired by its design. Smaller, faster, but just as powerful. In the stars, other species began sending messages, not threats, but offers. Some wanted peace. Some wanted help. Others just wanted to understand who these humans really were. And Earth listened. In one corner of space, a broken alien ship sent a signal. "We are refugees. Our planet was destroyed. Please help us." Instead of ignoring it, Earth sent aid. Captain Armand, Maya, and a fleet of 3 ships arrived with supplies, medicine, and protection. When the aliens asked, "Why would you help us?" "You don't even know us," Maya smiled. "Because we remember what it feels like to be forgotten." And with that, Earth's name changed again. No longer just warriors. They were protectors, builders, leaders. On a cold, distant moon hidden in shadows, a Syric survivor watched the stars. He whispered to himself, "They came in silence. They came with fire. And they came with heart." He tapped his communicator, again, but not with fear. With respect, because the galaxy now understood something powerful. Earth was not. The weakest Earth was not the smallest. Earth was the storm that came when no one was ready, and when Earth's battleship arrived. The galaxy screamed, then listened. The end.